Hey guys, and I am so sorry I have to be in front of y'all with this ugly morning face. Don't worry, I don't wash my face and whatnot. But I don't know, I just looking crazy in the morning. Let's talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. Everybody got an opinion. I just want to state my 2 cents, and I also want to hear you guys' perspective. Because one thing about me, sometimes I'm open to intelligent opinions, I guess, because I don't want to say it like that, because that make it sound like people be talking crazy, but that's the reality of it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be fake. Sometimes I hear people opinions and their reasoning behind their opinions. I'd be like, bruh, where did you get that from? Long story short, she was tested. Some articles say that it was a scheduled testing. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't work for her or against her. But they said it was a scheduled testing, which she was fully aware. And they found really small traces of marijuana in her urine. So that disqualified her in general. Like, it's not just targeted, because I think that's what's going over a lot of people's heads too. Well, people have their opinion. They say everything's planned out. I just say, well, I think them testing now, and then there's a 30-day probation period or suspension, just so happens to carry over when she's supposed to leave for Tokyo. I don't know, because I don't know. That didn't come to my mind. Well, it kind of did, but it kind of didn't. Like, I didn't look at it as it was planned. I just look at it as, wow, that's crazy. So obviously people are upset. A lot of people are pretty much saying, bruh, we should not be held to the same accountability as somebody on heroin or cocaine, those drugs that are illegal, period. Like, as far as I know, I don't think they're illegal anywhere. But we have weed that's slowly becoming legal everywhere here. But some other countries are just like, nah, you can't have that in your system, be an athlete. Which brings me to another thing, like, is America making a good decision to legalize something that affects everybody, including athletes and everybody, in reference to, the Olympics and things of that nature? Because we have athletes that they do their thing here and then they have to go over there. Like, does that really make sense? I want to know you guys' opinion on that too. But, obviously we're here to see how people feel about her punishment, if it was necessary. Should she get a pat on the back? A lot of people bring in Phelps into the situation, saying that he has weed in his system and he still was able to swim. Like I said, I guess their thing is now we're going to bring it to be a race situation. I don't think it's a race situation. I did have a slight thought that people, because if I'm not mistaken, she's being tested for them through their organization, like the country, not us. And that it could be, trickery to kind of, eliminate her because she was going to win. I also look at it like this, because I don't know if y'all know that somebody else is scheduled to take her place in the Olympics, and that could be a blessing in disguise for that person. Obviously, we don't want to look at it and be like, man, this person's going through something and then I get a leg up. Like, you don't want to seem like that person, but that's just what it is. Like, it could be an opportunity for the next person. But I say this so y'all can have a clear understanding, because I don't think people understood my complete siding with the Bill Cosby situation. I'm gonna talk about that at the end if I got time. But for Sha'Carri Richardson, my thing is, if she smoked weed, she smoked weed. If there's a penalty behind it, that's understandable. I'm not saying she should not have that. But my problem is that people are so quick to be like, bye, like you cancel. And that rubs me the wrong way, because these same people can get on social media and cry and poke their lip out and say, I didn't know any better, I made a mistake, and they want that sympathy and they want that empathy, but they're not giving it. My thing is, this is a 21-year-old girl who lost her mother. She's very young. She's talented. And there's always tomorrow. That's how I look at a lot of situations. Like I told y'all, like God has been dealing with me about forgiving people and not judging people and not hold people in a chokehold based on their past actions, but treat every day like a new day. And that's the Christian way. We are to forgive and we are to forget. Like a lot of people teach, well, the Bible don't say forget. But my thing is, think about how you hoovering over something, you start creating these other feelings and emotions like bitterness, sadness, anxiety, and fear, and that leads to sin. So it is not okay to not forget. We are to forgive and forget and start new, like treat each day like a new day. And I feel like a lot of people already cancel out. And then they say, this is the thing that got me, because you say, I never said we're not rooting for her. I'm just saying it is what it is. But then you comment on the fact that we're rooting, that I openly said, I'm still rooting for you, babe. There's always next year. But then you got to make it your business to counteract that. Then are you really rooting for her? Are you attention seeking? Like, what is the issue? And a lot of things is self-inflicting. Like when you look at a lot of people who so quick to bash and ridicule and cancel people, man, they got a lot going on with them. And that's not to say tastefully, because you can say, just like with the Bill Cosby thing, you can say, man, just in the event that something did happen to somebody, I think he got out too soon. And I would say, I see where you're coming from with that. I kind of feel like that too. Like I feel like, now, like I said, for my thing is, you got 60 different accusations. I don't think all of them hold weight, honestly. Probably not even half or a third. But do I feel like he probably did something, or he probably made some mistakes in the past? I'm pretty sure he did. And the same way with ShaCarri, like from what I read, this probably wasn't her first incident with smoking weed. We don't know, but we still don't know if it wasn't her first situation with weed. We don't know, but we so quick to assume because we put ourselves in situations that we don't belong. Like we're not in the Olympics. We don't run track. This isn't our job, our career. So how can we know any better if we're not in that situation and circumstance? And that's the sad part. You don't. It's the same thing with, and it gets tricky, right? Because there's Christian standards and then there's the world standards, and they hardly ever on the same page. But this is one of the things where if you're not even religious, you understand and you accept, whether you want to or not, the fact that we have a government over us, and the basis of our government is justice and mercy. And you don't want to be so far over here to say, well, she don't deserve a penalty. Let her run, let her do her thing. It's just we. And then you don't want to be way over here to say, nah, man, she knew the rules. She made a mistake. She's out of here. There's too far lines. Like I think there's a middle ground where she can still have a penalty and pay the cost, and not necessarily, just be counseled and eliminated from being the person who she is and having the talent that she has. Like, matter of fact, I made another video I'll probably post it later on today. Like, I really feel like cancel culture sucks. I feel like it has gone too far. And this is with anything, like you give anybody an inch, they're going to take a mile. And it's not okay. And we have to, the Bible says be sober-minded. So that means we are to have balanced understanding of good and evil, right and wrong, good and bad. And we don't. Like, there's a lot, like I say, even for myself, like when we start talking about sexual crimes and stuff, I'm kind of a little more like, I'm definitely not so easy to dismiss those things because that's something I experienced. Versus the marijuana weed thing, it could be because I used to smoke myself, that I'm sitting here like, man, and I told y'all a true story. Even after I decided to take God serious, because hello, we all had that moment where we got saved when we was like a child or a teenager, and then we had to come back and say, you know what? Now I know what I'm doing. Even after that, I smoked weed after. And for a good little while, probably for over a year. And like I said, the conviction hit, but it didn't hit right away. And I feel like everybody has to learn, everybody has to go through something, and we don't have that right to pick up our stone for anybody. Nobody. None. Zip. Nada. Like, the whole point of the story in the Bible is to show you that, first of all, the crime and them bringing the lady to Jesus, they were justified, right? The evidence was there. The witnesses were there. This woman was caught in the very act of adultery. And how the criminal justice system work. If you caught in doing something, you're wrong. But then Jesus also say, if any of you has done anything, you haven't committed no sin, throw a stone. And everybody slowly walked away. And who walked away first? The old and the wise, because they live long enough to know better. And yes, it so happens that I feel like I'm stuck in a generation. I was like, yo, young, dumb, and out of control. And I'm not calling nobody dumb just for the sake of calling people dumb. I'm saying there's a lot of ignorance built up in our hearts, and we don't quite understand everything. And we need prayer. She needs prayer. Hello, she just lost her mother. Hello, she just lost her opportunity to run in the Olympics. That's a dream come true that was snatched from making a choice, not a mistake, a choice, period. But we have to be careful, y'all. We have to be careful how we judge and ridicule people. We have to be careful of how we project things. Because like I said, when it gets to a point when you got to feel like you disrespect me and my character because I was my opinion, bruh, you a goof. And I mean that in the most respectful manner. Like I said, I'm open to hearing y'all thoughts. Do you see that this wasn't justified? What's your opinion on it? How do you feel about marijuana being legal, being not legal? How do you feel about the testing? How do you feel about those around her? Because I'm actually, I'm looking at her camp too. And I know she's grown, but I'm like, isn't there like a phase where you have to chill out and you have to like be training and stuff because you're going to the Olympics? Like, who's watching you? Like, what's going on? Like, what they're allowing and stuff, like her agent and stuff. But yeah, like, I just feel like we have to be real careful about judging and throwing our stones. Really careful. And like I said, I think 30 days suspension is justified. I just think it's unfortunate that it happened right now. And ShaCarri Richardson, I am still rooting for you, girl. There's always next year. We live and we learn. Who knows? Next year you can be extremely obese and maybe you can bring somebody up with you. We don't know. We don't know God's will and plan, but we are just to not just be so quick to be so mean and hateful. And that's my thoughts. I love you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.